Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot is going down this weekend at UFC Sao Paulo. Let's break it down. We have a major fight happening in the lightweight division. Charles Oliveira, of course, is coming off of that brutal KO loss to Ilia Topuria only 3 months ago, and Mateusz Gamrot is taking this fight on about 2 weeks' notice. Charles was initially slated to fight Rafael Fiziev, which in my opinion would have been a much better fight, but whatever, you don't always get what you want. But he was complaining about having to take this fight versus Mateusz Gamrot because he said, well, Gamrot is a wrestler, Fiziev was a striker. This is a completely different dude I have to prepare for, and my whole training camp I've been preparing for a striker. Which, to be honest, is not something you want to hear from a fighter. I mean, you should be able to fight anybody at any given moment if you're one of the best in the world. And considering you're a guy like Charles Oliveira, who has fought for so long against so many different type of styles, you think it wouldn't really matter for him. And I understand why he has some hesitation for this match. But I mean, Mateusz Gamrot, yeah, he's not the most exciting dude. He's actually really boring, but the dude can fight. He's an excellent fighter. Like, he's a very high-level grappler, and I think he can give Charles issues in this fight in the grappling. Because although Charles is one of the best submission artists in the UFC, he does struggle with high-level wrestlers. We've seen him be taken down by Arman Tsarukyan. We've seen him be taken down by Ilia Topuria, or reversed by Ilia Topuria, and we've seen him been taken down by Makhachev as well. So Gamrot may be able to land a couple takedowns in this one. Taking Charles down, though, and holding him down are two completely different things. Like, he was able to get up against Arman and was able to get up against Ilia. Obviously didn't have that same luck against Islam, but you get my point. He's able to bounce back up. So if you're taking him down, you can't be sure that you're going to keep him there, and especially for Mateusz Gamrot. I mean, if you're going to be taking Charles down, shooting for double legs, putting your head on the outside, you're going to leave yourself open for submissions. And if anybody is going to pull off a guillotine in the UFC right now, it's Charles Oliveira. Now, because of these two styles, it seems that these guys are going to be grappling for a majority of the fight. And I could see that, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen, because for Gamrot to take down Charles, it means he's going to have to be in that position. And Charles has fantastic striking. He hits very, very hard. A lot of people may not think that after watching the Topuria fight, but he actually does. And a lot of fighters have said that his power is real. And Mateusz Gamrot, he's been clipped before. The moment that comes to mind for me is, of course, when he got clipped by Beneil Dariush in his fight with him in that third round. And that was a big shot, and Mateusz had to shoot instantly. When Gamrot gets clipped, he likes to shoot for the double leg, and sometimes that's not always going to work out, and it hasn't worked out for him in the past. I mean, look at the Ankalaev Pereira fight this weekend. That didn't work out for Ank when he tried it. So it might not work for Gamrot as well. Now, if you look at what this fight means for each fighter, I think there's a lot more to lose for Charles Oliveira and almost nothing to lose for Mateusz Gamrot. I mean, like I just mentioned, he's taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice against one of the biggest names in the lightweight division. A win over Charles Oliveira could do massive things for his career. And for Charles, this is just a bounce-back win for him against a very dangerous dude. And even if he wins, people are going to give him credit, of course, but it's not going to be anything that's going to push him towards the title. And that's the big question I asked myself in this fight for Charles Oliveira. Like, how much does this actually mean to him? How much does he actually want this? I mean, if you look at the landscape, he wanted this fight in Sao Paulo. He wanted to fight in Brazil for this specific fight. Many people may have their different reasons as to why they believe that was the case. Me personally, I think there could be a chance, like a very, very small chance, that Charles retires if he's able to just KO Gamrot in Brazil. I think that's potentially something that could definitely happen. But he's saying that he's obviously going to chase fights after this. Like, he wants Max for the BMF belt, which, awesome fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it. So maybe he's not done, but I don't know. Part of me believes that it could be the case. Because what does he have really left to prove in the UFC? I mean, he has the most submissions in UFC history, the most performance bonuses in UFC history. He's been a UFC champion before, and now that he's lost to Ilia, that stride back to the title is going to be so long, because, I mean, the belt goes up for grabs once a year, so Charles is going to have to wait a long time before he even gets considered for a title shot, especially if Ilia is the one holding the belt. So how do I think this fight actually goes? I mean, I think this could go very similar to how Arman Tsarukyan versus Charles Oliveira played out, because I see Gamrot as very similar to Arman, but I don't think he's as good as Arman. And I think Charles could have his way in this matchup. Like I said, Charles is very heavy-handed. I think he's going to come out on the front foot in this one and try and put the pressure on Gamrot. He may force Gamrot to shoot, Gamrot may leave his head open, and Charles could just lock up a guillotine. But what I personally see is Charles going on the front foot, putting the pressure early on, and cornering Gamrot against the cage and landing a big shot that could put him down. After that, I think he's going to try and go in and try and TKO him, land a couple extra ground and pound shots, and that's how I see it happening. I think Charles is going to win this fight, and I think he's going to win it very, very early. But why can't dudes come back and have success? We've seen it happen before, and this is a favorable matchup for Charles still because, like I mentioned, Gamrot's coming in on 2 weeks' notice. Like, no training camp. I don't care how much he trains. You can't be super prepared, especially for a guy as dangerous as Charles. So with all that being said, I think this is Charles' fight for the taking. Charles Oliveira via KO, probably in the first round. That's my official pick. I mean, I really want to see it happen because I'm a big Charles guy, but I honestly think it actually could. Kind of like how I felt Pereira was going to win last weekend. It's just, there's something about it where I think that this type of matchup just favors him. Some of these relentless grapplers, if you have absolutely zero to offer on the feet, you're probably going to get clipped. There you guys have it, though. That's my official prediction for the main event at UFC Sao Paulo. Let me know if you guys agree with me in the comments. Of course, this is a tough one to predict because it's two really good fighters and different circumstances, but I'm backing Charles. Let me know if you guys are backing Charles or if you're taking Gamrot in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one.